Hello, this is a video clip of my keynote speech at the PMI Professional Development Day at Rochester, New York. Should you need to reach me to hire me for your professional development day, please feel free to contact me at BrianVanderjack@gmail.com.
Okay, now what I recommend you do is at the beginning of your project meetings, instead of just asking them what their name was, ask them semi-personal questions like that, because what that does is it gets us to be a little uncomfortable, but it also shares a little bit about the person in a non-threatening way once they get used to it. And that's huge, because once you start to actually begin to know the people on your team, you're going to lower your resistance to working with them in terms of emotional intelligence and start to accept more of what they bring to the team. Sound fair? Now what I'd like to do is try another one. For this one, I'd like to have 6 brave people. Oh, come on up. It's an easy one. Raise your hand if, well, let's try the same one that the gentleman this morning used. Raise your hand if you're a highly competent project manager. Now what this is called the yes and drill. And what happens with people on project teams is the first thing you want to say is no. And what this drill helps you to do is to be positive when new ideas are introduced to the team. And it's also a great way to start your staff meetings, your status meetings or whatever, because you learn a little more about the person because you get to see their creativity. And now the way this works is I'm going to start off a story, and everybody in this line, I'm going to step back, is going to say yes and then they're going to add something to the story. And the reason for that is to get us in the process of learning how to say yes and instead of saying no, I don't want to do it that way, okay? Now, does it have to be really into the story? No, because one of my team members once, every time he did the yes and drill, he said, yes, and the aliens came. So if you want to totally deviate from the story, you can go ahead and do that. So can we start over here? And I'll start the story by saying, I went to a wonderful PMI-PDD day in Rochester, New York today. Yes, and?
Yes, and I didn't trip in or around the big puddle that someone took a picture of.
Yes, and?
Yes, and the aliens came.
Yes, and I had the opportunity of sharing my lunch with 2 wonderful people that I had never met before.
Yes, and it was so well organized and lunch was so great, I can't wait to go back next year.
Yes, and the cheesecake was especially delicious, and I limited myself to half a piece.
Yes, and I sat with all the aliens at lunch.
Thank you, guys. You can sit down now. You can sit down. Thank you very much for volunteering. And now if that gets to, again, that is a really good way to start your meetings. Now there is about 40 other examples of this, and write down teamfirstdevelopment.com where they have a list of 40 other yes and leg drills.
Thank you for watching this video clip. If you'd like to hire me for your next professional development day, please feel free to email me at BrianVanderjack@gmail.com. Again, BrianVanderjack@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you.